There is a quiet question that many women carry in their bodies long before they ever put it into words. Why does my digestion feel so fragile? Why does my gut react so strongly, so unpredictably, while so many men seem to eat, live, and move through their days without even thinking about their intestines? This question is rarely asked out of curiosity. It is usually born from exhaustion, from the feeling of always being bloated, uncomfortable, inflamed, constipated, or suddenly running to the bathroom, from the frustration of never knowing how your body will respond to food, stress, hormones, or even rest. And the first thing that needs to be said clearly is this: women do not experience more digestive issues because they are weak, dramatic, or overly emotional. There is a deep biological, hormonal, emotional, and cultural logic behind this pattern. When we talk about women experiencing more digestive problems than men, we are not only talking about medical data or diagnoses. We are talking about a shared female experience, conversations whispered between friends, pants that fit in the morning and feel tight by the afternoon, the quiet shame of a swollen belly, the habit of blaming yourself for a body that feels out of control. Digestive discomfort becomes part of daily life for many women, so common that it is often minimized, normalized, or ignored. But common does not mean simple. The female digestive system does not exist in isolation. It is in constant conversation with hormones, emotions, the nervous system, the immune system, and personal history. The gut is not just a tube that processes food. It is a sensing organ, a communication center, and in many ways, a memory holder. For women, this communication is more intense, more layered, and more reactive. From a very young age, women are taught to hold things in, to be polite, to be quiet, to swallow discomfort, anger, sadness, and frustration. This is not just a psychological pattern. The body learns it too. The gut becomes a place where what was never expressed tries to find a way out. This is not poetic exaggeration. It is physiology responding to environment and experience. Women live in cyclical bodies. Hormones rise and fall every month, not just once in a lifetime. Estrogen and progesterone fluctuate constantly, influencing everything from mood to pain perception to gut motility. These hormonal shifts directly affect digestion. In some phases, the intestines slow down. In others, they speed up. Sensitivity increases. The threshold for discomfort lowers. The gut reacts faster and more intensely. Male hormonal patterns tend to be more stable day to day. This stability gives the digestive system a more predictable internal environment. The female body, on the other hand, is designed for adaptation. That adaptability is a strength, but in a modern world that demands constant performance, it often becomes a source of strain. The gut is deeply connected to the nervous system. It has its own network of neurons, often called the second brain. This system constantly scans for safety or threat. Digestion requires a sense of safety. You cannot digest properly when your body feels under pressure, rushed, judged, or overwhelmed. Many women live in a near-constant state of low-level stress. Not always dramatic stress, but persistent tension. The tension of caring for others, of meeting expectations, of managing emotions, relationships, and responsibilities simultaneously. This constant background stress keeps the nervous system activated, and an activated nervous system shifts energy away from digestion. The body prioritizes survival over nourishment. The gut tightens, motility changes, sensitivity increases. Over time, this becomes a pattern. You may have noticed that your digestion changes depending on where you are and what you are experiencing. It might worsen during travel, during emotionally intense periods, before important events, or during times when you feel watched or judged. This is not coincidence. The female gut is highly contextual. It responds to life, not just to food. Another key difference is visceral sensitivity. Women tend to perceive internal sensations more strongly than men. Gas, distension, pressure, or mild inflammation that might go unnoticed in a male body can feel painful, uncomfortable, or alarming in a female body. This does not mean women exaggerate. It means their nervous systems receive and interpret internal signals more intensely. This heightened sensitivity likely has evolutionary roots. A body designed to support pregnancy and protect developing life must be attuned to subtle internal changes. But in modern life, this sensitivity often turns against the woman herself. Normal digestive processes become uncomfortable. Small imbalances feel overwhelming. The body feels unpredictable. Then there is the emotional layer of eating. Women are far more likely to associate food with morality. From a young age, many women learn that certain foods are bad, indulgent, shameful, or forbidden. Pleasure around food often comes with guilt. Guilt activates stress responses. Stress disrupts digestion. Poor digestion reinforces guilt. This loop can run quietly for years. Many women have dieted repeatedly throughout their lives. Restriction, control, and rules around food change how the gut functions. The body learns to be cautious. It becomes reactive. It stops trusting consistent nourishment. Digestion becomes irregular, not because something is broken, but because the system is trying to protect itself. Inflammation also plays a role, not always the obvious kind that shows up clearly on tests, but low-grade, chronic inflammation fueled by stress, sleep deprivation, emotional overload, and lack of true rest. Women are often praised for pushing through, for being strong, for doing more. Rest is seen as optional. The gut does not see it that way. It needs recovery to regulate. The gut is also deeply connected to the skin. Many women notice that digestive flare-ups coincide with skin issues like acne, redness, or sensitivity. The gut and the skin are both boundaries. When one is overwhelmed, the other often compensates. Trauma is another important piece of this puzzle. Emotional trauma, especially experiences that involved fear, violation, or loss of control, often lives in the body long after the mind has moved on. The gut is one of the primary places where this stored tension appears. Women are statistically more likely to experience certain types of trauma, and they are also more likely to internalize it. The gut holds what was never processed. When people say that women have more digestive problems because they are anxious, they reduce a complex reality to a shallow stereotype. This is not about being nervous or overthinking. It is about a system that is constantly responding to internal and external demands without enough space to reset. Men experience digestive issues too. They experience stress too. But the female body integrates everything. Hormones, emotions, social context, and history are not separate systems. They converge in the gut. The female gut does not compartmentalize, it accumulates. One of the most painful aspects of this reality is how often women are dismissed, being told that it is normal, that it is just stress, that it is all in your head, or that you should simply avoid certain foods creates isolation. It teaches women not to trust their own experience. That disconnection itself worsens symptoms. Understanding why women experience more digestive issues is not about labeling or pathologizing the female body. It is about restoring meaning. When symptoms make sense, they become less frightening, less personal, less shameful. The gut stops feeling like an enemy and starts feeling like a messenger. Many women have spent years trying to fix their digestion without ever being given a full explanation of why it struggles in the first place. Understanding does not magically remove symptoms, but it often brings relief. Relief comes from realizing that your body is not failing, it is responding. If parts of this resonated with you, you are not alone. Your experience is shared by countless women who have never been given language for it. Feel free to leave a comment and share what stood out to you. Sometimes speaking what the body has been holding is the first step toward changing the relationship with it. And if this kind of conversation brings you clarity, consider liking and subscribing. This space is not about fixing bodies or offering quick solutions. It is about understanding the female gut with honesty, compassion, and depth. When we understand, we suffer less. Even if the symptoms remain, the meaning changes. And that alone can shift everything. And this shift in meaning is not small. When a woman stops seeing her gut as a defect and starts recognizing it as a sensitive, intelligent system responding to her life, something subtle changes. The tension softens. The internal fight quiets down. And even before any physical change happens, the relationship with the body becomes less violent. One of the reasons digestive issues weigh so heavily on women is that they interfere with identity. Digestion is not just about food moving through the body. It affects how a woman dresses, how she shows up socially, how comfortable she feels in her own skin. Bloating can make her avoid mirrors. Unpredictable digestion can make her avoid plans. Pain can make her feel fragile, unreliable, or broken. Over time, the gut doesn't just affect the body, it affects self-trust. Many women live with the constant question in the back of their minds, can I trust my body today? That question alone is exhausting, and it is far more common among women than men. Not because women are more fragile, but because their bodies are more responsive to change, to stress, to emotional load, and to internal signals. Another layer that is rarely discussed is how women are encouraged to disconnect from their physical sensations. Girls are often taught to ignore discomfort. Period pain is dismissed. Digestive pain is normalized. Emotional distress is minimized. Over time, this creates confusion. The body speaks, but the mind has learned not to listen. When symptoms eventually become loud enough to demand attention, they feel sudden and overwhelming even though they have been building quietly for years. The gut becomes the place where ignored signals finally demand space. It is not uncommon for women to say that their digestive issues appeared out of nowhere, when in reality, the body had been whispering long before it started shouting. There is also the reality of multitasking. Women's lives often involve constant mental switching, thinking about work while preparing food, thinking about family while trying to rest, thinking about responsibilities while eating. Digestion requires presence. It requires the nervous system to register that it is safe to focus inward. When meals are rushed, distracted, or emotionally charged, digestion suffers. Over time, the gut associates eating with tension rather than nourishment. This is not about blaming women for their lifestyle. It is about recognizing how modern expectations collide with a body that was designed for rhythm, rest, and connection. The female body is not linear. It is cyclical. It thrives on variation and recovery. But modern life rewards consistency, productivity, and output. Women are often expected to perform the same way every day, regardless of where they are in their cycle, emotionally or hormonally. The gut absorbs the cost of this mismatch. Another important factor is how women internalize stress. Men are more likely to externalize stress through action or expression. Women are more likely to internalize it. What is not expressed outwardly often moves inward. The gut becomes a container for emotional residue. This is why digestive symptoms often worsen during periods of emotional suppression, people-pleasing, or unresolved conflict. Many women notice that their digestion worsens during times when they feel they cannot say no, cannot disappoint others, or cannot prioritize themselves. The gut tightens in response to emotional contraction. The body mirrors the psychological state. There is also the impact of reproductive milestones. Puberty, pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, and menopause all bring hormonal shifts that directly affect digestion. Each transition requires adaptation. And yet, women are rarely supported through these changes with an understanding of how deeply they affect the gut. Symptoms are often treated as isolated problems rather than part of a broader physiological adjustment. After pregnancy, for example, many women experience lasting digestive changes. The body has undergone massive physical, hormonal, and emotional transformation. The gut has been physically displaced, hormonally influenced, and neurologically stressed. Yet women are often expected to bounce back quickly. The gut may not be ready. When its signals are ignored, discomfort becomes chronic. Perimenopause is another phase where digestive issues often intensify. Hormonal fluctuations become more unpredictable. Sleep quality changes, stress tolerance decreases. The gut responds accordingly. Many women are surprised by digestive symptoms during this phase because no one told them to expect it. Again, the issue is not that women's bodies malfunction, it is that they change, and change requires support, not judgment. There is also the social expectation that women should manage discomfort quietly. Complaining is often seen as weakness. As a result, many women normalize symptoms that would prompt concern in men. By the time they seek understanding, the pattern is deeply ingrained. One of the most harmful myths is that digestive symptoms are something women just have to live with. This belief creates resignation rather than curiosity. Understanding does not require immediate action or fixes. It requires permission to take the body seriously. Another overlooked aspect is how deeply the gut is connected to emotional safety. Women's bodies are highly relational. They respond strongly to connection, tone, and environment. A hostile environment, emotional invalidation, or lack of support directly affects digestion. Feeling seen, heard, and safe can change how the gut behaves, even without any physical intervention. This is why many women notice that their digestion improves in certain relationships and worsens in others. The gut responds to emotional climate. It always has. The comparison with men is not meant to create division. It is meant to highlight difference. Men and women are not built the same way, hormonally or neurologically. Expecting identical digestive behavior ignores this reality. Men's digestive systems are often less sensitive to hormonal fluctuation and emotional context. Women's systems are designed to integrate more information. That integration can become overload in an unsupportive environment. When women are told to just relax, it misses the point. Relaxation is not a switch. It is a state that emerges when the body feels safe. Safety is created through understanding, validation, and respect for bodily signals. Understanding why women experience more digestive issues also requires acknowledging the cultural pressure to control the body. Women are taught to manage their appearance, appetite, and weight from a young age. This creates tension around eating. Tension and digestion do not coexist well. The gut learns to associate nourishment with scrutiny. Over time, the body may respond with bloating, discomfort, or irregularity, not because food is the enemy, but because the experience of eating is emotionally charged. The gut does not separate physical input from emotional context. Many women spend years trying to fix their digestion through external rules while ignoring the internal environment. Without understanding the role of hormones, stress, emotional safety, and self-trust, these efforts often lead to frustration. The most profound shift happens when a woman realizes that her gut is not betraying her, it is communicating. Symptoms are not punishments, they are signals. Signals that something in the system needs attention, rest, or change. This realization does not remove responsibility, but it removes blame. And blame is one of the most inflammatory forces in the body. When the gut is met with curiosity instead of judgment, the nervous system softens. When the nervous system softens, digestion has space to regulate. This is not instant, it is gradual, but it is real. Many women report that simply understanding their body reduces fear. Fear tightens the gut. Reduced fear creates openness. Even before symptoms change, suffering decreases. Women deserve explanations that honor the complexity of their bodies, not oversimplified answers, not dismissal, not quick fixes. Understanding is not passive, it is foundational. If you have lived with digestive discomfort and felt misunderstood, there is nothing wrong with you. Your body has been responding to layers of input that were never acknowledged. You are not imagining your symptoms. You are interpreting them through a system that feels deeply. If this perspective resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on how you speak to your body. Notice where you have been harsh, impatient, or dismissive, not to judge yourself, but to become aware. Awareness changes the internal environment. Feel free to share your experience in the comments. Many women carry these struggles silently, believing they are alone. Speaking breaks isolation. And if this conversation brought clarity or relief, consider liking and subscribing. This channel exists to explore the female gut with honesty, depth, and compassion. Not to offer miracles, but to offer understanding. And sometimes understanding is the most regulating force of all. And this is where the conversation truly needs to land. Not in solutions, not in rules, not in another list of things a woman should fix about herself, but in recognition. Recognition that the female digestive system is not defective, it is responsive. And responsiveness, in an overstimulating, demanding world, often looks like fragility when it is actually sensitivity pushed beyond its limits. For many women, digestive symptoms begin quietly. A little bloating here, a little discomfort there, something that feels inconvenient but manageable. Over time, as life layers accumulate, responsibilities increase, emotional labor intensifies, and rest becomes conditional, the gut carries more than it was meant to hold alone. Symptoms become louder, not because the body suddenly broke, but because it has been compensating for too long. The female gut often becomes the place where everything converges. Hormonal shifts that are never given space to settle, emotional reactions that were never allowed expression, stress that was normalized and minimized, expectations that demanded endurance instead of care. The gut holds the tension of living in a body that is asked to adapt endlessly without acknowledgement. Many women develop a complicated relationship with their abdomen. It becomes an area of shame, frustration, and hypervigilance. They check it constantly. They brace for discomfort. They anticipate reaction. This constant monitoring itself activates the nervous system, creating a feedback loop where the gut never fully relaxes. Safety becomes conditional. Digestion becomes effortful. It is important to understand how deeply safety influences digestion. Safety is not just the absence of danger. It is the presence of permission. Permission to rest, permission to take up space, permission to feel without fixing, permission to be cyclical instead of consistent. The female body needs this permission far more than it is given. When women are praised for pushing through pain, ignoring signals, and staying functional at all costs, the body learns that symptoms are the only language that will be heard. The gut becomes louder because quiet communication was ignored. This does not mean that every digestive issue is emotional or psychological. The gut is physical. It is biological. But biology does not exist separately from lived experience. The female digestive system is shaped by everything a woman goes through, not just by what she eats. Another rarely acknowledged factor is how women are socialized to doubt their own sensations. When discomfort is questioned or dismissed, women learn to second-guess themselves. This creates internal conflict. The body sends a signal, the mind questions it. Conflict creates tension. Tension disrupts digestion. Trust is essential for regulation. A body that is constantly questioned remains on guard. A guarded body digests poorly. This is why many women find temporary relief when they finally feel believed. When a symptom is acknowledged instead of minimized, the nervous system softens. The body feels less alone in its experience. This does not mean symptoms disappear overnight, but the internal environment shifts, and that shift matters. Understanding why women experience more digestive issues than men is not about comparison for the sake of hierarchy. It is about context. It is about recognizing that female bodies operate under different demands, both internally and externally. Hormonal variability, emotional attunement, social expectations, and relational sensitivity all shape how the gut functions. Men are not less complex. Their complexity is simply expressed differently. The mistake is assuming that one model of digestion should apply to all bodies equally. When women are given explanations that honor complexity instead of reducing it, something powerful happens. Shame loosens its grip. Self-blame decreases. Curiosity replaces fear. The body becomes something to listen to, not control. This shift does not require doing more. It requires understanding more. And understanding changes how the nervous system responds to symptoms. Fear amplifies sensation, meaning reduces it. Many women have spent years trying to silence their gut, to suppress symptoms, to override signals. But regulation does not come from silencing. It comes from relationship. A relationship built on respect, patience, and listening. The female gut is not asking to be fixed. It is asking to be considered. When a woman starts to see her digestive system as a reflection of her life rather than a personal failure, the pressure eases. The body no longer has to fight to be heard. Symptoms may still appear, but they feel less threatening, less personal, less consuming. This does not romanticize suffering, it contextualizes it. Context reduces isolation. Women deserve narratives that make sense of their experiences, narratives that do not blame them for being sensitive in a world that is often harsh, narratives that acknowledge that carrying life, emotion, and connection in the body comes with cost. If you have lived with digestive discomfort, you are not broken. Your body has been responding to layers of input that were never neutral. Your gut has been working overtime to adapt, protect, and communicate. And perhaps the most important thing to understand is this: digestive issues are not a sign that your body is against you. They are evidence that your body is paying attention. When attention is finally returned, gently and without urgency, the system has a chance to recalibrate, not because it was wrong, but because it was overwhelmed. If this conversation helped you see your body differently, let that matter. Understanding is not small. It is regulating, it is grounding. It is often the first real relief. You are welcome to share your experience in the comments. Many women carry these stories silently, believing they are alone. Speaking creates connection, and if this space brings clarity to your relationship with your body, consider liking and subscribing. This channel exists to explore the female gut without fear, without shame, and without oversimplification.